Hey, welcome back, me again. We're going to go over the grabbable avatar pose filter component today, as I just figured out how it works, and I'm trying to complete the transform interaction category in terms of tutorials. I haven't really came up with a use case for this, but I can think of some whilst we go. Let's get started. The grabbable avatar pose filter will apply a pose filter to your hand when you grab something. I'll show you what I mean by setting it up. So here, if I create a 3D model box, as with most grabbable components, so a box is a good thing to start with. I'm going to go ahead and inspect it. And I'm going to go down to the attach component menu, and I'm going to do transform, interaction, grabbable avatar pose filter. And we're going to add this. And then I was very confused when I first looked at this one because it just says filter and doesn't really leave you much to go on. What it needs in here is one of the avatar anchor systems filters. I will go and link in the description to my anchor tutorial where I make a chair. I don't really go over pose filters that much. I do go over the box constraint, but I don't go over any of the others. I'm going to go over them briefly here, but I'll make separate videos on those when I do more in the anchor system. If you'd like to see more in the anchor system, do let me know. It is very complicated. I'll also link below my video on the dancing system I did that uses anchors. So here if we go to users, common avatar system, and then pose filters here. Pose filters, these are all filters that are compatible with the grabbable avatar pose filter. I'm going to go ahead and start with the avatar pose offset, because this is the one that kind of like looked fun when I played with it, but we'll try the others later as well. So here I have avatar pose offset. When I've added it, I can then grab it and drop it into the filter property of the grabbable avatar pose filter, and you'll see it gets set and turned on. And then for the avatar pose offset, it will apply an offset to my hand when I grab it. So here I'm going to do on the rotation of the X, I'm just going to go ahead and do 90 degrees, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the box. And you'll see weird things are happening. I'm just going to go into third person so you can see what's going on. My hand, I did position offset, that's why. My hand is now crossed to the other side of my body because I did a 90 position offset. Let me just reset that to rotation offset here. So that's what I intended to do. And now when I grab the object, let me go back to smooth POV for this one. You'll see my hand is now rotated backwards at this sort of weird angle. So I could go ahead and chuck that into the y-axis here, and you'll see that my hand has done something else weird here. Or I could go ahead and grab 90 into the z-axis here as well, and now my hand's also doing a weird thing. There we go. That's the avatar pose offset. I'm going to go ahead and leave this here, but I will clear it out and I'll attach another one. So users, common avatar system, pose filters, pose smooth lerp. This one's quite fun as well. So you drag that into the filter as well. And I'm going to just drop these values down to 1 and 1. I need them to be slow to kind of show you. So now when I grab the object, moving the object around is forcibly slow. Ignore the rotation, that's just my controller. So you can see here, I'm grabbing it, and I'm moving my controller very fast, but my hand is delayed moving here. This is a bit like the old component called Smooth Transform, but Smooth Transform would apply it to the actual cube when you transformed it, whereas the slow, smooth lerp speed that you see here happening to my hand is occurring from the avatar pose smooth lerp here. So there we go. The good thing about these as well is, again, ignore the spinning. When you let go of things, it'll instantly drop where it is. So you can grab it, and it'll instantly drop where it is. And it will detach whatever weird stuff is going on. So you see here, I'm moving really slowly. I'll let go of it. My hand instantly snaps back to where it should be, and I can move normally. So it's only when you're holding it that you're affected by it. I'm going to go ahead here, clear out the filter again, and go on to the next one. Users, common avatar system, pose filters, and then you'll see pose box constraint here. Box constraint here will require a pose reference. I'm actually going to set the box to the pose reference here, and it will require a source, and I'm just going to say here 0.1 in all 3 axes, and then go ahead and grab this box. Not much here is happening. Let's that's 0. Oh, I didn't drag it up there, that's why. There we go. So now you can see that my hand is kind of, I'm going to go in third person for this one and move the inspector out of the way. My hand is kind of being forced to line up in a very straight line with the box that I'm grabbing here. I could go ahead and add a box size to this. So if I just do 0.25, 25, and 25 here, you'll see I kind of have more play about where my hand can move. Increase this to a silly number. And now you'll see things move a lot more normally. You know, I can rotate my wrist again. So if I drop this back down to 0, you'll see rotating my wrist just moves my arm now. Kind of makes you have a straight arm. There you go. Going to attach component, users, come on, avatar system, pose filters, and then the last one here is rotation constraint. Rotation constraint here acts a bit like a joint. I need to do a video on a joint as well. Whenever you think about joints, think about them as a ball joint. Your wrist isn't actually a ball joint, but it kind of acts like a ball joint. It can go up and down, but it can also go left and right. And then by turning your arm, you can go all the other ways. But just imagine your shoulder basically is the usual good one there. So again, I've hooked that up. I don't know what the default settings will do. Oh, yep, it's completely broken my wrist. That's great. Let me just move that out the way. You'll see here when I grab it, my wrist is broken. I'm just going to swap back to smooth POV as I noticed that I was in third person for most of that. So here you'll see pose rotation constraint. I just left it as default values and I put it straight in there. And that is in the same space as the rest of them. Avatar system, pose filters. Sorry about that. So that's it for the avatar pose pose rotation constraint. The GrabbableAvatar pose filter. You might ask, why would I use that? And I can think of a few reasons. So if you have an object that is designed to be grabbed and manipulated in a very specific way, like some sort of complicated gun, weapon, wand, or something like that, or some sort of grabbable that is attached to something, you know, think like a chain that's attached to the ceiling or to a rail or something like that, you may want to kind of restrict what your hands can do when interacting with it to kind of make it feel like you're interacting with that object in the real world. I haven't got a working example for you, and I don't think I've seen one in the wild here, but do play around with it, use it. The next time you have issues with positioning something in the hand, try it out, see what you can come up with there. That is the grabbable avatar pose filter for you. Let me know what you think down below, and I will see you next time.